Hey guys, and welcome back. So I want to do some more stash busting. I just want to do something really simple and just relax a little bit in the garden while it's still sunny outside. So I am going to make an apple from this Rikorumi pattern book. It's all amigurumi stuff. It has a lot of like animals in there, but I really like this little apple design. I think it's really cute. And it kind of reminds me of the Stardew apple creatures, Junimos, something? I forgot their name. But for the colour, I will be using this green as the main body colour, and then I've got this ochre, which I will probably use as like little detailed specks. Then I've got this blush colour, which I will use for the cheeks. And then I have this brown. It's quite a dark brown, but I'm going to use this for the stem. And then I also have some black that I want to use for the eyes. And that should be about it. So let's go and set ourselves up in the garden.
Your eyes, all night under the covers. Your place, my place, it doesn't matter. No one has to know. We'll keep it on the low. Round and round we go. Falling for you.
Quick check-in. I've come back inside because it's starting to get really windy and we're actually going to have a storm later tonight, so I want to go for a walk with Freya just so that we can get some of her energy out before we're not able to go outside for a couple of days with the dog because of the storm. But I have about half of the main body for the apple done, so I'll pick that back up once we get back inside from the walk. Freya, do you want to go for a walk? Sniff. Okay, let's go. So when I want to tire out Freya, there's two places that I generally go to. One is the beach, but this is the other one. She absolutely loves running across the field here, and it's just so nice to see her little ears flop about.
You come with me when I go. Stay with me. Take my hand, I won't let go. I know everything's lighting up.
Hey guys, so it's now Monday and I finished up my work for the day, and yesterday when I got back from the walk I just didn't really feel like doing some more crochet, so I just ended up playing a game and just relaxing a little bit. And yeah, today I just want to continue and maybe try to finish the body of the apple because it's turning out smaller than I expected. But yeah, we'll see how I'm gonna get on, because even though that we're technically in a storm, it's quite warm because the sun's out, but we can't open the windows because it's so bloody windy outside that as soon as we open them even like a little bit, they get completely blown open, and there's just, yeah, there's so much force behind the wind that I just don't want to risk breaking one of the windows. So we've had everything closed today. So yeah, I am starting to melt a little bit, but yeah, let's try and finish this apple.
I think too
All right, I have finished my dinner and I have done enough decreases to start filling up the apple body. And one thing that you might notice right now is that he's looking a little bit round, but basically in 6 rows, I will be able to fully close up the apple. And then what I will do is sew from top to bottom and bring that closer together so that we have that little indent both at the bottom and top, kind of like an actual apple does. And yeah, I think I'm just going to try and stuff him as much as I can. Okay, so it's actually a couple of days since I last checked in with you guys, and that's because yesterday I had to go to a last minute clinical appointment, and the place I went to is like an hour away because they didn't really have a specialist local to me, because it's not that I'm that remote, but it was just that particular specialist was in Manchester, so that's where they sent me. So it was like quite a while to get there and then a while to get back. So by the time that I got home, I was just not really feeling like doing crochet. And I figured I would just take some time while I'm finishing up these details. I'm going to start on the stem, to just talk to you guys about sort of mental health wise where I'm at, but also medically a little bit, because maybe it will help someone that is watching these videos. But basically, the people that have been watching my videos before know that the last couple of months have been a little bit chaotic because of the house hunting. And mentally, I've just been struggling a little bit with that. And then work has been quite stressful at times as well. But it's sort of becoming not relaxed, but it's sort of starting to even out now at work. So it allows me a little bit more of like breathing space to process stuff that's going on. Um, but yeah, it's especially with the house hunting, I feel like I've been going like on and up and then I go down because my hopes sort of like, get popped, and then I like we don't get the house, so I get upset about it. And I've been trying to deal with that with one, keeping myself busy with doing like these videos, doing crochet and knitting and stuff, but also going for walks. Like I personally find it really helpful to go outside and also just interact with people, especially at the knitting group. Like when I go there, sometimes I just end up having a really good cry and it's very cathartic. So I like that I have like that a bit of a support system nearby. But also to bring that into the medical appointment that I had yesterday, because it was basically I felt a lump in my breast again, and I've had issues with cysts in the past. So I actually, the first time I felt one was in December last year, and it was literally just after Christmas. And I was so worried because I haven't had that before, and I was just, oh God, like what if I'm really sick, or what if I have cancer or something. So I got so scared, and I started to doom think very quickly, and I was having a really hard time to not spiral out of control. So personally, like I'm really happy that my work has private health insurance, so I managed to actually see someone before New Year's, and they confirmed that it was a cyst. It was nothing like bad or anything. It's just naturally I'm predisposed to it because my mum has them as well. So they drained it on the spot and everything was okay. But then last week, obviously, I felt a really big lump and I was like, oh God. I mean, I thought in my head, it feels very similar to a cyst again. But because it was so big, I was like, ooh, I don't know. So I ended up calling the same clinic again and asked, like, hey, can you maybe slot me in? So they slotted me in last minute yesterday. And one thing I thought was so nice, actually, in a way, even though that a lot of women that go to these places obviously don't have nice news, but I really appreciated the positive atmosphere in a way, and the people that were working there were very gentle and very reassuring. And you go in and I met with one doctor because it was like a one-stop clinic kind of thing, and he basically like marked spots, and then I was sent to a different person, although I had to wait in between. But then I would be sent to a different person, and they would then do a scan and then make sure that everything's okay and potentially drain things if it was needed. But basically that waiting time, I was sat in a hallway with like there were a couple of chairs and I was just doing some crochet, and there was an older lady sat next to me, and she started talking to me about how she doesn't really see a lot of people do crocheting or knitting anymore, and that it actually made her really happy to see someone do that. And she was talking how she used to do a lot of stuff when her kids had babies and stuff, but she doesn't really do it a lot in the moment. So I said, oh, you should get back into it. But yeah, she was there with, I believe, her daughter, and they left. And then a different lady, I believe she's maybe like 5, 10 years older as me. And she sat down and we again started talking a little bit about crochet. But we also started talking about, oh, like, is this your first time here? And I don't know, it was just very nice and very supportive. And when I went in for my scan, it turned out it was a cyst again, but sadly they took three out. Well, they drained three, but it turns out I still have like 15 or 20 left. But they're all really small, so they don't want to do anything with it to aggravate the issue. So they've just asked me keep monitoring it and just, come back if anything is becoming bigger or painful. And I I'm quite happy with that outcome in a way. I mean, at the same time, you are a little bit worried because you have like lumps in your breast, but at the same time, it's not cancerous. So you don't, you're not panicking about it that much. So I felt in a way quite relieved after I left that scanning room, and they just said, like, you can go home, you don't have to do anything. And I was like, okay, cool. And I walked past that little waiting area where I was sat earlier, and that lady was still there. And she was like, oh, did everything go okay? And I was like, yeah, I mean, best outcome that I could get. And, we wished each other good luck. And it was very heartwarming. And I do really appreciate that even in like hard times, there's always people around that are willing to extend a hand to you, which I don't know, I feel like when I was younger, I used to feel quite alone, and I really struggled because I was being bullied in school, and I just struggled dealing with people. I just didn't really know how to socialize, and I sometimes would put myself up like quite defensively, and it never really did me like many favors when I was trying to make friends. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've started appreciating it more to just randomly start talking to people, because I feel like so many people sort of miss that human connection, especially with social media right now. Like everything is so, from a distance or a little bit artificial. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I appreciate that sort of stuff more. And I feel like when I personally am feeling down, that's when I have to like force myself out a little bit more, because, I'm like, oh, I just want to lay under a blanket and cry, or like watch like an early 2000s comfort movie and have some tea or something. But at the same time, I'm like, no, you know what? I actually should go out and I should just go to a cafe and chat to some people, because every time that I do that, I feel so much better afterwards. But yeah, my God, that was a long-winded explanation about like sort of mentally where I'm at right now. But yeah, I'm doing better, and I have some exciting like projects planned or videos like in my head that I think would be quite fun to do, even if they are sometimes like not low effort, but just low mental capacity. Like they're not too complicated and they're just something like chill and nice and funny and sweet. So yeah, I'm excited for some of the future stuff that I'll be making, and I hope you guys will obviously be there with me. But yeah, I didn't do much crochet. So I'm just gonna continue with the stem, and I will see you guys in a little bit.
Sunday, sometime in May, when the clouds bringing rain and the cops came again. We were staying up late, despite the neighbors' complaints, playing records. We lit a fire outside. I got a bit high, so I popped out inside till the sun rise. Why do I know what this is for? You gotta let me in on the secrets whenever I lay.
He is done, and I think he's looking so cute. I love the little like goldy specks that he's got everywhere. I think it's just a really nice little detail. And even though that he turned out quite small, I still think he is super adorable. I'm not quite sure who he's going to go to. I've got two people in mind, one that recently got a grandbaby and the other one is expecting a baby. So yeah, I'm gonna have a think to see where he's going to go. But even, if you like this apple, but you, for example, want to make it closer to the Junimo that I mentioned at the start of this video, the Stardew Valley creatures, and you have this pattern book, you could honestly easily like just change this. Like all you would have to do is make 4 more of these stems so that you have like the arms and legs, and you could even make the actual body just a little bit taller so that he would come to about here. And even if you don't have this pattern, honestly, like it's not that you need one for this. You would just have to make a sphere. Like I said, maybe like a little bit taller in the middle section. And then this section, you could just do like maybe like 15 chains or something and then go back with like a chain 1 turn. And that's literally the same thing for the arms and the legs. And then the face, you could just do however you want it to do. So yeah, it's super, super easy to follow, but I know that this is quite a small project. That I think this is one of the smallest projects I've done in videos, but I still hope you kind of enjoyed it. I don't know, I felt like a little bit, not burnt out, but just a little bit exhausted in a way with doing like a lot of big projects recently. Like I finished that jumper and I'm still working on a cardigan like behind videos and stuff. So yeah, I felt like I needed to just have a little bit of a breather and relax and do something small and fun. And on the other hand as well, I think I've pretty much like I've done everything that I wanted to do at this point, at least for summer stuff. So I think I might do one more stash busting video, and then I'm probably going to start on a autumn wardrobe. I'll definitely be doing socks. I am so excited because I've never done socks before and it's just something that I always wanted to do. So I can't wait for that. But I also hope that you enjoyed the little chat that we had, and maybe for someone that is going through something similar, I hope that that makes you feel a little bit less alone. And yeah, I hope you had a good time watching this, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye.